Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we will be solving the Sudoku with a difficulty rating of 5 star. The Sudoku has been from the Hindu newspaper, November 14, 2025. So let's start with solving. So we will look at this box. We'll find 5 in this column, a 5 in this column. So the only place that where we can write 5 is over here. Now again, when we look at this box, since we have a 5 in this line, a 5 in this row, we'll also find a 5 in this column, a 5 2 in this column too. So the left out place is this, where we can write 5. Now coming to this box, we can find a 5 over this line, a 5 in this row. We can also find a 5 in this line too. So the only left out place is this, where we can write a 5. Now again, when we look at this box, we have a 5 in this line, a 5 we can see in this column, a 5 in this row. So the left out place is this, where we can write a 5. Now when we look at this box, we have a 9 in this column. We can also find a 9 in this row. So the left out place is this, where we can write a 9. Now similarly, when we look at this box, since we have a 9 in this line, a 9 in this column, we can also find a 9 in this row. So the left out place is this, where we can write a 9. Now again, similarly, we can write a 9 over 9 in this box. So we will have a 9 in this row. We can also find a 9 in this line. This column too has a 9. So the left out place is this, where we can write a 9. Now coming to this box, we have a 9 in this line. We also have a 9 in this column. You can also find a 9 in this row. So the left out box is this, where we can write a 9. Now similarly, we can write a 9 over this box, on this box. So since we have a 9 in this row, a 9 in this column, the only place where we can write 9 is over here. Now when we look at this box, since we have a 1 in this row, we can confirm that we cannot write a 1 over these two boxes. So the 1 will come in this line. So since we can confirm 1 in this column, with that we can write 1 over in this box. So since we have confirmed 1 in any of this box, in these two boxes, a 1 will not come in this line. So the 1 will be in these two boxes, these two rows. So with that, we can confirm that a 1 we cannot write over here in these two boxes. Since we have a 1 in this box, we cannot write 1 in these two boxes also. So the only place where we can write 1 is over here. Now coming to this box, with this one we can solve 1 for this box. Now 1 we can find in this line, a 1 is also there in this column. We'll also find a 1 over 1 on this row. So the only left out place is this, where we can write a 1. Now when we look at this line, since we have a 8 in this box, we cannot write 8 anywhere in these two lines. Now again, since we have an 8 in this box, an 8 is also not possible in these two lines. So the only possible place where we can write 8 is over here. Now again, when we look at this box, we have 3 in this line. A 3 is also there in this column. So the only left out place is this, where we can write a 3. Now again, coming to this box, a 4 is there in this line. A 4 is also there in this column. So the left out place where we can write 4 is this. Now coming to this box, we can find a 4 in this row. A 4 is also there in this row, and we can find a 4 in this line. So the left out place where we can write 4 is over here. Now when we look at this box, we have a 4 in this line. A 4 also is there in this column. So the left out place where we can write 4 is over here. Now when we look at this box, we can find a 1 in this row. Also we can find a 1 in this column, a 1 in this line. So the left out place where we can write 1 is over here. Now similarly, when we look at this box, we can find a 1 in this row, a 1 in this line or in this row. So only left out place is this where we will write a 1. Now when we look at this line, we need 1, 3 and 4. So when we look at this box, we have 1, 3 and 4. So we cannot write 1, 3 and 4 in these two lines. So similarly, when we look at this box, we can find 1, 3 and 4. So 1, 3 and 4 we cannot write in these two lines also. So 1, 3 and 4 will be coming here. For this line, 1, 3 and 4 will be coming in this line. So the left out numbers are 6 and 8. So we can confirm 6 and 8 in these two lines. It may be either in this line that we can write 6, or we can write 6 over here and 8 here, or 6 here and 8 here. But anyway, we can confirm these two are the boxes for 6 and 8. Now since we have 6 and 8 in this box, we will look whether we can write 6 anywhere here in this box. So since we have confirmed 6 in this line, we cannot write 6 anywhere in these two boxes. So the left out box where we can write 6 is over here. Now similarly, since we have also confirmed 8 in this line, we will not be able to write 8 in this box, and 8 will also, we will not be able to write 8 anywhere in this line also, since we have an 8 here, and 8 is also not possible in this line. Also we have an 8 in this row. So the left out box is this where we can write an 8. Now coming to this box, we can find 6 in this line. We can also find a 6 in this column. So the only place where we can write 6 is over here. Now when we look at this line, we just have one number that is missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the missing number. So we can write 7 over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the only number that is missing in this entire box. So we will write it over here. Now coming to this line, we just have one box that is left. So we just need to identify that missing number. So 1 we have, 2 we have, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 is the missing number. Now coming to this line, we have 4 in this box, so we cannot write 4 over here. We have 4 in this box, so a 4 is not possible here. Because we have a 4 in this line, we cannot write 4 in this box too. So the only place that is left with is this box where we can write 4. Now with this 4 we can write 4 in this box, because we have 4 in this line. We can also find a 4 in this column. So the only left out place is this where we can write 4. Now when we look at this box, we need 1 over here. So since we have 1 in this line, we cannot write 1 anywhere here. So we can write 1 over here. Now with this one, we will solve 1 in this box. So since we have 1 in this line, cannot write 1 anywhere here. We have 1 in this line. So only left out place is this where we can write the 1. So when we look at this box and this line, we can identify which all the number that is required in these 3 boxes. So 2, 3 and 6 will come in this 3 lines, 2, 3 and 6, because those are the missing numbers. So only left out number is 7, which we will write over here. And also that 7 was the only missing number in this entire box. Now when we look at this box, the missing numbers are 2, 3 and 6. So we have 3 and 6 over here. So the remaining number is 2, which we will write over here. Then 3 and 6. So we have 3, so we cannot write 3 over here. So 3 will find its place over here. And the last left out number is 6, which we will write over here. Now when we look at this box, only one number is missing, that is 2, which we will write it over here. Now again, when we look at this box, the missing numbers are 2 and 6. So since we have 6 over here, 6 in this line, we will not be able to write 6 over here. So 6 will find its place over here. Then the left out number is 2, which we will write here. Now when we look at this line, only one box is missing, one number is missing. So we just need to identify that number and we have to write it over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have, 6 we have. So 7 is that missing number, which we will write over here. Now with this 7, we will be able to write 7 in this box. So a 7 will not find in this box, as we already have a 7 in this row. So 7 will find its place over here. Then the left out number is 1 we have, so 2 is the left out number, which we will write it over here. When we look at this box, we need a 3. So we have a 3 in this line, we also have a 3 in this line. So the only place where we can write 3 is over here. Now coming to this line, the missing numbers are 6, 7 and 8. So we have 6 and 7 in this line. So we can only write 8 over here. So 6 and 7 will find its place over here. Since we have 7 here, we won't be able to write 7 in this line, in this box. So 7 will find its place over here and 6 will find its place over here. Now when we look at this box, we just have one missing number. So we just need to identify that and we need to write it over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 is the missing number, which we will write it over here. So again, when you look at this box, the missing numbers are 2 and 6. So since we have 2 over here, we won't be able to write 2 in this box. So 2 will find its place over here. So the left out number is 6, which we will write it over here. Now coming to this box, the missing numbers are 6. So 6 we have in this line, the 6 we already have in this row 2. So the only place where we can write 6 is over here. Now when we look at this line, we just have one number that is left. So we just need to write it over here. We just need to identify that missing number and we need to write it over here. So the number is 2. 1, 2, 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7 and 8 are the missing numbers. So since we have 8 in this line, cannot write 8 over here, so 8 will find its place over here and 7 will find its place over here. Now here the missing numbers are 3 and 7. So since we have 7 here, we won't be able to write 7 over here, so 7 will find its place over here and we can write 3 here. Now when we look at this box, the missing numbers are 2 and 3. All other numbers we will find it over here. So since we have 3 here, 3 won't find its place. We won't be able to write 3 over here, so 3 will come here and 2 will find its place over here. With this, we have solved the Sudoku with 5-star rating. Thank you so much.